Buzz, welcome back to the channel where we talk all things K-pop, K-drama, and everything buzzing in the Korean entertainment world. And today's buzz, it's massive. BTS is officially back, like, for real this time. All 7 members have now completed their military service, and yes, that includes SUGA, who was the last to be discharged. Can we just take a moment to let that sink in? It's been 2 years and 6 months, and now the boys are home. So SUGA was discharged quietly on June 21st after working as a social worker. No big ceremony, no public event, just a simple farewell and a heartfelt message to fans on Weverse. And that message, it hit deep. If you haven't read it yet, stay with me because we're going to talk about it. He wrote, "Hello everyone. It's good to see you. This is SUGA. It's been about 2 years. How have you all been?" Straight to the heart, he talked about how the past 2 years were a time for reflection, for stepping back from the whirlwind of idol life. And honestly, I love that he shared that with us. A lot of idols don't talk about what military service really does to them emotionally, but SUGA, he was real about it. And let's be honest, this moment is emotional not just for the members, but for ARMY too. We've waited so long. Some of us started new jobs, finished school, even went through major life changes while waiting for OT7 to reunite. But now, it's finally happening. Oh, and did you catch the surprise reunion at J-Hope's concert on the 13th? J-Hope, Jin, and Jungkook performed together, and then SUGA, RM, V, and Jimin all showed up to support. That moment wasn't just fan service, it felt like a signal. Like, hey, we're back, get ready. And speaking of getting ready, J-Hope didn't hold back. He said, BTS has returned after completing their military service. We have a lot to show you. We'll prepare hard and show you everything. So please look forward to it. I don't know about you, but I already have my emotional support light stick fully charged. Now here's something really interesting based on insider reports. BTS is expected to release a full group album next year. And it's not just going to be a comeback, it's going to be personal. Every member is involved in planning the concept and direction, using the ideas they came up with during their military service. That's powerful. Can you imagine the kind of emotional depth, storytelling, and maybe even healing we'll get from this album? This isn't just a commercial comeback. This is BTS entering their second act as a group, grown, wiser, and even more connected to each other and to ARMY. But here's a question for you, and I really want to see your comments on this. What do you hope to see in BTS's next album? Is it raw emotional tracks like Spring Day and Black Swan, or something experimental like Run BTS or Daechwita style fusion? Or maybe even something totally unexpected? Let me know, because with the boys taking full creative control, I think we're in for surprises. Now back to SUGA for a moment. Alongside all the gratitude in his message, he also did something not every celebrity has the courage to do. He apologized again for the electric scooter DUI incident last year. He said he felt genuinely sorry for the fans and for the members, who must have carried a heavy heart because of it. And that kind of accountability, it matters. No excuses, no sugarcoating, just facing it head on. And I think it shows how much he's grown during his time away. I know there are mixed opinions out there and some fans are still hurt, but personally, I appreciated that he brought it up again in such a sincere way. He ended his message with, "I will work even harder to repay the love you've given me. I love you." And yeah, you could feel that. This wasn't just an idol returning to the spotlight. This was Min Yoongi, a human being who's been through a lot, stepping forward with humility and love. So what's next? Well, before the full group comeback, Jin is kicking things off with his solo fan concert tour, Run Seokjin Episode Tour. It starts in Goyang on June 28th and 29th, and then he's heading to Japan, the US, the UK, and the Netherlands. 18 shows in total, that's huge. And I know many of you are already saving up and planning travel. So shout out to the fans making this comeback era extra special. I've said this before and I'll say it again, BTS isn't just a K-pop group. They've become a symbol of resilience, vulnerability, and growth. And this new chapter, it's not about reclaiming their old glory. It's about writing a brand new story, one where they call the shots, tell their truths, and reconnect with fans after everything we've all been through. So let's celebrate this moment. Because after 2 years and 6 months, OT7 is finally back, and in part 2 of this video, we'll talk about the album timeline, what HYBE's been hinting at behind the scenes, and how BTS's return could shift the entire K-pop landscape in 2026. So don't go anywhere, and of course, tell me in the comments what's the first song you want to hear in the comeback album? Whose solo you're most excited about? And how did you feel when SUGA said "I really missed you"? Because same. Absolutely same. Alright. Let's keep going because the second half of this comeback journey is just as exciting, if not more emotional. We've waited, we've hoped, And now BTS is standing at the edge of a new chapter, so let's break down what's possibly coming next and why this return could redefine not just their career, but K-pop as a whole. First off, let's talk album strategy. If you followed BTS long enough, you know they don't do basic. Every comeback has had layers, visual symbolism, interconnecting storylines, social commentary. This next album, I think it'll be even more introspective and storytelling driven. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of trilogy, maybe even referencing their early works like the HYYH era. Why? Because they've had time, too. Years of stillness, reflection, and personal growth. They've been through solitude, service, controversy, and even public scrutiny. You don't just come back from that and release a dance track. You come back with a statement. Also, you know what gives me chills? The fact that this album is being personally directed by the members. Think about it, 7 artists, 7 minds, 7 perspectives on what it means to reunite after time apart. That's not just music, that's history being written. And honestly, this comeback isn't just for us ARMY, it's for them, for the 7 boys who met as trainees, stood on small stages and took on the world. Now they get to look each other in the eyes and say, we made it back. Now let's go into the bigger picture. What does BTS's return mean for K-pop? Let me tell you, it's going to shift everything. Right now, the industry is filled with new groups, fresh faces, and global momentum, but BTS's return will likely dominate charts, media, and fan culture in a way we haven't seen since, well, their own last comebacks. HYBE knows this. That's why groups like ENHYPEN moved their comeback earlier. To avoid overlapping, even TXT is rumored to be releasing right before or right after BTS. That tells you how powerful their presence still is. They're not just another group, they're the standard. And here's where I want your thoughts. Do you think BTS will break into new genres? Will they bring back old school bangin' hip-hop? Or are we going to get orchestral ballads, rock-inspired tracks, or something totally unexpected? Let me be real, I'm hoping for a mix. A little philosophical rap, maybe a Jungkook R&B moment, a SUGA produced track with some gospel or traditional Korean instruments, a Taeyoung jazz-inspired interlude. Honestly, I want it all. Also, can we talk about how surreal it is to have OT7 content again? Just seeing Jin, Hobi, and Cook on stage together recently made me feel like we traveled back to 2019, but in the best way. It wasn't nostalgia, it felt like healing. And I know some people are wondering, will BTS go on a full world tour again? Personally, I think they might wait a bit. Build the album rollout first, maybe drop multiple MVs, special appearances, and then go global. But whenever it happens, you know it's going to be sold out in seconds. Now before we wrap this up, let's revisit SUGA's final message. He said, I will work even harder to repay the love you've given me. I love you. That hit deep. Because it's not about perfection, it's about love, real, complicated human love. Between artists and fans, between the 7 of them, between us and this journey we've been on together. So here's my question for you. What does this comeback mean to you? Where were you 2 years ago when Jin enlisted? How have you grown while they were away? And now that they're back, what do you want to say to them? Let's make the comments section a space of celebration. Share your story, share your emotions. I'll be reading them, replying, and crying along with you. And if you made it this far, thank you. Truly, we've been through a lot together, and this channel exists because of moments like this. When K-pop isn't just entertainment, it's connection. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because the comeback content is just getting started. And of course, I'll be covering every teaser, performance, behind the scenes. Until next time, this has been Unyong Buzz. BTS is back, and so are we.